Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Today I have got 6 real life family dinner ideas to share with you. So grab a cup of coffee or the drink of your choice and let's get started. So I'm going to be sharing some breakfast for dinner, good old hot dogs and fries. I'm also going to be making some scallops with vermicelli, a slow cooker jambalaya that turned out really good. I'm also going to be sharing some udon noodles with veggies and chicken, and also an instant pot chicken and dumplings with mashed potatoes. Okay, so first we're going to start out with breakfast for dinner. I had this bag of Great Value buttermilk biscuits in my freezer that I wanted to get used up. And if you've never tried these before, they're actually really good. I put them out on a cookie sheet lined with some parchment paper. And what I'm going to end up making is some sausage biscuits with eggs and some hash browns on the side. So I had some hash browns in my freezer as well. I just like to cook those up in a skillet with some butter, olive oil, salt, and pepper. Sometimes I also add a little bit of garlic powder. And then I had half a bag of frozen sausage patties in my fridge as well, or in my freezer rather, so I cooked those up too. Those get rather greasy, so I always have a paper towel lined plate on the side waiting to catch those so I can drain the grease from them. Otherwise they're way too greasy for me. Next, I'm going to use that same skillet. I did wipe it out and scramble up some eggs. So I just have some eggs that I beat with a little bit of milk, salt, and pepper, and I'm just going to stir those over medium-low heat until they are fully scrambled. I get a lot of questions when I share this blue rubber fork in videos, and it was something that I picked up from Sur La Table when we were in Denver last year on a whim. It was like $5 at the cash register. And I'm super glad that I got it because it's very useful. You'll see me use it quite a bit throughout this video, and they do have it on Amazon. I'll leave a link for it down below. So my scrambled eggs are done. Everything came together super duper quick. I don't always share complicated recipes in these videos because I, like you all, are very busy. I work full time outside of the home, and so I definitely need some easy dinners like this once in a while to get me through the week. Speaking of easy dinners, this one is another easy one. I picked up these baskets and liners on Amazon. I'll link them down below. And my kids have really liked these. It's just a super fun dinner idea. So on this night, I made some hot dogs in the air fryer, some chili to go on top of either our hot dogs and our fries. I baked some fries in the oven, and that was it for this night. So I'm sharing with you a recipe from one of my subscribers. I asked you guys several weeks back for submissions, and this is the recipe that I chose to make. This is from Rhonda, and it is a recipe for scallops with vermicelli. And along with that, I am going to make my Olive Garden copycat salad, which I make a lot when I make Italian dishes, and my kids really like it. So for this recipe, you'll need about a pound of scallops. So I have those rinsed and dried in a bowl there, and you're going to kind of marinate those in some lemon juice and parsley. So I'm going to mince up my parsley and get some of that into the bowl with the scallops along with some lemon juice. Rhonda did provide the recipe typed out for this particular dish, so I will copy it and leave it down in the description box below if you guys want to try it out. So once the lemon juice and the parsley are mixed in with the scallops, you just give that a stir, stick it in the refrigerator to marinate a little bit while you are putting together the rest of the dish. Next up, I'm going to mince up some onions and garlic for the sauce part of the recipe. Rhonda said that this recipe was taken from one of those cookbooks that you sometimes saw at the checkout in the grocery store in 1996. I remember those very well. And this cookbook was called Favorite Brand Name Recipes. And she said this is really good and you'll love the slight seafood flavor. She also shared that she's been following my channel for about 3 years. She is happily divorced and has 3 children and 4 grandchildren. She's disabled and lives alone with her cat named Jack. She said that she used to love to cook but doesn't do much cooking anymore due to her disability and pain associated with standing for long periods. And her hobbies include reading, sewing, crocheting, YouTube, and Facebook. So thank you, Rhonda, so much for submitting your recipe. We loved it. I loved making it. And if you guys would like like to submit your own recipe, I'll leave a link in the description box below for a form to fill out, and you can submit yours for next time. Okay, so for the sauce, I sauteed up the onions and garlic until they were tender, and then I'm adding in some crushed tomatoes. The original recipe calls for canned Italian tomatoes. I could not actually find diced Italian tomatoes, and so I substituted some basil crushed tomatoes, and it worked out just fine. I'm also going to add to that some basil, oregano, and thyme and give that a good stir. This recipe is kind of neat because it ends up being a tomato cream sauce, and once we cook the scallops, which you'll see later, you add the cream to those, reduce it a little bit, and then add everything together in with the tomato sauce. I could not find vermicelli in my store, and so I just substituted some angel hair pasta, or you could use spaghetti or really thin spaghetti. I think really any type of long shaped pasta would work really well with this. So I'm just boiling that in some salted water while my sauce comes together. And you do want to simmer this sauce for a little bit just to kind of let all the flavors come together and reduce down a little bit. I really love this pan. I've talked about it before. It's a Cuisinart pan. It is not non-stick, but it does work really well to make pasta dishes like this because it's large enough to accommodate a full pound of pasta along with the sauce. Next, I'm going to make my salad. So I have some romaine lettuce here, and I'm just going to trim off any of the ends that might be brown and dice that up and get it in my salad spinner. I like to soak my romaine in lemon water to rehydrate it, clean it off, and keep it from getting brown, and then I'll spin it dry and make my salad. So for the scallops, I have a small nonstick skillet, and I'm just putting a pat of butter in there and kind of swirling that around until it all melts. And then I took the scallops out of the refrigerator, the ones that we marinated in the lemon juice and parsley, and put those in the skillet. These did not brown very well because I had lemon juice in there, and obviously it's not going to brown if there's liquid in the pan, but that's fine. I just let them cook on one side. You only need to let them cook for like 2 minutes, and then flip them over to the other side and let them finish cooking the rest of the way. And once the scallops are cooked through, I added about 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. Mine might have been a little bit more. I just had a little bit left in this container here, so I poured the rest of it in there. And then I just let that simmer a little bit and reduce down. I believe I added some salt and some pepper, and basically just let that cook until the cream thickens up a little bit. Anytime you're cooking cream over high heat or even medium high heat, you do want to watch it and make sure that it doesn't burn. So just make sure that you don't leave the stove while you're doing this, or you might end up with a mess. So here's what it looked like after it thickened up a little bit. I went ahead and poured that into the tomato sauce, and I'm going to give that a good stir until everything is combined. Once the sauce was stirred together, I gave the pasta a really good drain and mixed that in with the sauce. I do like mixing my pasta with my sauce most times, and this recipe made quite a bit of sauce, enough for 1 pound of pasta. We definitely had some left over. And I think too that if you don't like scallops or you didn't have scallops, you could also substitute shrimp in this and it would be really good. But to finish it off, I just added some Parmesan cheese and stirred that in. Next up, my lettuce was done washing, so I went ahead and spun that dry with my salad spinner, and then I'll go ahead and put my salad together. So you could also buy bagged iceberg lettuce for this. I had this on hand in the fridge, and so I just went ahead and used that. I like to serve this kind of family style in a big salad bowl. So I put my lettuce in the bottom, and then you can really use any veggies you want on this. I don't believe Olive Garden has cucumbers on their salad. I could be wrong, but I always put them on because we like them. So I put some cucumbers on there. I'm also going to add some olives. I just use a can of black olives. You can also add red onion and tomatoes. I believe we were out of tomatoes on this day. And I also added some croutons and then just some Parmesan cheese. And then I just pour on the regular Olive Garden dressing and then give that a toss. And this is definitely one salad that everyone in the family eats and everyone likes. Even my daughter Kira, who is not huge on salad, will definitely eat this. So I went ahead and set that to the side while I got the rest of dinner ready. So I also made some garlic bread. This was just some frozen garlic bread that I threw in the oven while everything else was baking. And that is what we had for dinner on this night. So we had the scallop pasta, the garlic bread, and the salad. So thank you again, Rhonda, so much for sending in this recipe. We really did enjoy it. Okay, so next up, I've got a recipe for slow cooker jambalaya, which I will link down below. I actually prepped this in a meal prep video that you guys have probably already seen. And so all I had to do was dump this out into the slow cooker and let it cook all day on low. It's got some tomato sauce in there, some veggies, seasonings. There is cubed chicken breast along with some sliced beef smoked sausage, really good. And then at the end, before you're ready to eat it, about half an hour before, you just throw in some rinsed off shrimp, and this was some that I had thawed from the freezer, and those don't need long to cook through, maybe 30 minutes at the most. You can just kind of throw them in, give it a stir, put the lid back on, and they will not take long to cook at all. This is my Kasori multi-cooker that I'm using. It is a slow cooker, but it also has some different functions on it, like saute, and you can make yogurt in it. I really like it, and I should use it more often because it has a programmable feature. So I'll link it down below if you're interested. I believe they're still available on Amazon. So along with that, I wanted to make some rice in the Instant Pot. That's always how I make my rice. I am not very good at making rice on the stovetop. So in there, I have equal amounts of rinsed rice and water, and I always put some salt in there and a pat of butter. And I have a rice cooker function on both of my pressure cookers, and so that's the button that I use for white rice. So here's what it looked like when it was all done. Definitely good. I would recommend this recipe. It's not too spicy at all, and it's really good with the rice. My favorite part, I think, was the sausage and the shrimp, but I would definitely recommend that recipe if you're looking for something easy. Okay, so udon noodles, this is super simple also. I actually made this on a night where Adam was gone and it was just me and Kira. She really loves kind of Asian style food, and so I thought I would make this for us. I have 2 chicken breasts that I'm going to saute in a nonstick skillet. I just season these with salt and pepper and some ground ginger and some ground garlic, and then after they were done cooking, I glazed them with a little bit of soy sauce. And these are the udon noodles that I'm going to use. I actually got these from Costco in the refrigerator section. They come with 4 servings in there, so I just made half the bag, but they're really good. If you find these, I would definitely recommend them. We really did enjoy them. These noodles are super easy to make, so you just put some water in the bottom of your skillet along with the dried veggie packets. Put the noodles in there, turn the heat on, and then just stir fry these through until they are tender. The package says like 1 to 2 minutes, but mine took longer than that. I would say maybe 5 to 7 minutes. And once they are done, you just want to give them a stir around. And then there are some flavor packets in with the noodles. They do have, the flavor packets are teriyaki flavored, but they do have like fish ingredients in there. So if you're vegetarian or vegan, you might want to try another seasoning, but if you're not, the seasoning is really good and tasty. So I mixed that in with the noodles and the residual water that was in there and just gave that a good stir. And then I'm also going to make some dumplings, which I didn't share in this particular video, but we had some of the BB-Go, I think they're chicken and vegetable dumplings from Costco. Also, you can microwave them in the little trays they come in. They are super convenient. This reminds me, I need to get back to Costco and pick up some of this stuff that I liked so much. But once the chicken was done, I cut that into strips. We had it with the noodles. And then also, have you guys ever had the steamed veggies from Panda Express? They are delicious. Sometimes I just go there and get the veggies, and I'll get like a quadruple order of them and just keep them in the fridge. And they're super easy to warm up. They're perfectly seasoned and they're delicious. I would definitely recommend that. That was a really good meal. Okay, so next up, I'm going to share this recipe for Instant Pot chicken and dumplings. This is out of my new Skinny Taste meal prep cookbook. This was a cookbook that was just released. I'll link it down below. I pre-ordered this on Amazon, so I got it right away. I have many of her cookbooks and I love them all. So this is freezer to Instant Pot chicken and dumpling soup. And essentially the premise behind this is that you can prep all the ingredients before, throw them in a freezer bag, and then it's super quick to put together the night that you're going to eat. I did not not freeze these because I just prepped it a couple days before. But in this freezer bag, I have some chopped carrot, onion, and celery and some bay leaves. And I just took that out of the fridge, dumped it into this Instant Pot. I almost said slow cooker with some oil and some butter. And I'm just going to saute that around until the veggies are mostly tender and then add in the rest of the ingredients. You'll see actually later in this recipe that the pasta gnocchi, well, not the pasta, the gnocchi that I used disintegrated. So I would definitely try and do something different next time. But I went ahead and poured in some water, and then the recipe says to use chicken broth. I had vegetable base on hand, so that's what I used. You could use chicken or vegetable broth. I think it would work just as well. So I put that in, gave that a good stir. I just like keeping the broth and bouillon on hand because it takes up a lot less space than like boxes of chicken broth do. And I just think it's so much easier to use. So I had some cubed up chicken breast. I went ahead and put that in, and I'm just going to put the lid on this and cook it on high pressure for, I think, about 15 minutes. So I have an Instant Pot brand pressure cooker. I'll link the exact one I have down below. It's kind of old by now. I've had it for like not old, but I mean, I've had it for 4 or 5 years, so it's not one of the fancy new ones. But when that was done cooking, here's what it looks like. Next, I added a slurry of cornstarch and water to thicken that up. And then the original recipe called for ricotta, I can't remember the name, ricotta cavatelli or something like that. I could not find that around here. You guys know the struggle is real finding specialty ingredients here in rural Iowa, but I had gnocchi in the freezer. And I looked at the picture and I thought, that's probably like, it's probably going to work. It's like just kind of like the same thing, I thought. Well, anyway, I put that in there. I put the lid on here with the struggle bus. And then all I did was cook that on high pressure for 2 minutes, and the gnocchi totally disintegrated. Like, I opened the pressure cooker and stirred it around, and I could see no evidence of gnocchi. It's like they just disintegrated, broke up, and thickened the sauce, which I thought was super weird. I've never had that happen before. So I would probably have to figure out something different next time, but the flavor of it was really good. On the side, I made one of these take and bake sourdough loaves that I get from Imperfect Foods. They are delicious. And since our gnocchi were disintegrated, I just went ahead and whipped up some instant mashed potatoes, and we had the chicken over that, sort of like a chicken stew, and it turned out so good. So really nothing lost there, but just a heads up if you're wanting to make that recipe. So that is what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you got some meal ideas for your own family, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.